What's the church Scientology so afraid of?
This is SPTV.
Hello, guys. Yes, a little bit late, so I expect for all of you to wake up to this. Wake up to these news because, yes, we left our latest audit last night and thought that, everything was going to be fine. We did what we did at the audit. We saw what we saw in that audit. And then we had a little surprise. Apparently, Scientology has not backed down from really wanting to put a bunch of fake reports to the LAPD, you guys. Hello, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad some of you are in your literal morning. Here we are in the middle of our night. Since we've had an eventful night, you guys, as you can see, we had the wonderful, pathetic LAPD pulling a little stint for themselves. Isn't that great, you guys? That the LAPD is so pressed to do whatever they get told to do, apparently. Apparently, whatever it is that they get told to do is what they do. So it'd be interesting to understand why they're such lapdogs. What type of leverage is being pulled on the LAPD to act recklessly right in front of all of our eyes? Because we're not being fooled by y'all's, oh, we really want to protect this very First Amendment right. There have been 0 arrests done to Scientology people, including the ones that were confiscating our passports as minors, LAPD. But, you have a journalist that is walking around the property and checking out what in the hell is going on, auditing the street, literally the street, walking on a public street. And yeah, you guys, you are going to see. You're going to see what happened, what took place tonight. But you know what? I thought, before we see what you probably all got caught up on, Chris without a Hellcat being fakely detained to be intimidated, then we really have to ask ourselves who this woman who's the mayor of the city, and guess where she is, you guys? Guess where she is? Standing squarely. There, you see it all for your very selves, right? Because this was a little problem that Karen Bass had, Mayor Karen Bass had in, first of all, literally being in a podium endorsing where my passport as a minor, Miss Karen Bass, was confiscated for my entire formative years. So in what world is your LAPD department so reckless, so negligent, so do whatever in the hell you get told to do? Because let's really just, take a deep breath, you guys, and really just listen to your current mayor of Los Angeles and her full endorsement of Scientology. And yes, you guys, I heard that she really want to help now. She really wants to change the narrative. She really wants to not have anything to do with Scientology. Well, you know what? Show us the actions. Show us how you're changing a shred of a thing, Karen Bass, because you've been elected. And so far, we have 3 strikes for Scientology. This was another fake BOMB threat, you guys. So imagine 3 strikes in literally 1 week. So let's really see what Karen Bass is saying for herself right here. Let's really check it out.
As both a leader in our state legislature and a representative of Los Angeles, my goal has been a simple one, to actually make a difference. So that's why I first have to say that this day and this new church of Scientology is an exciting moment because I know your goal and your commitment is truly to make a difference.
Oh, so you know that, Karen. You know that their goal and their commitment is to truly make a difference. We would love to hear from you in your office, Karen, real quick. Type it up quickly. Type it up real quick. What type of difference are they making when our passport was locked up way under lock and key when we were minors? And we were being told that we were volunteers, because we would really love to understand your little pitch here about how they really, truly want to make a difference. Because you know what? Having our passport locked up, Karen, did make a difference. And you in your office should know what type of difference that makes when minors have their passports locked up. Has your LAPD done a shred of an investigation over any of that ever in the history? No. Nothing. Nothing has been investigated. Nothing has been checked out. Nothing ever raises a literal red flag for you. I mean, you guys, this tonight, literally, we are livid beyond. Livid beyond. And for the very simple reason that these people have literally no shame on being corrupt and doing it all in front of us, because, you know, they're really expecting us to just take it, Karen, just like how we used to be taking it as kids inside of those hotels. Is that really what you think we are now? Just gonna take it? We're just gonna like lie down for you like little puppy dogs. Okay, never mind. Let them continue recruiting minors. Who cares? Who cares? Right, guys? That's literally what we're seeing unfold right in front of our eyes. As if we don't know these techniques, you guys. As if we're not just so fully aware of how they literally behave. So it would be great to really know what type of difference you really know they were trying to make by opening this, Karen. Please start explaining yourself a little bit more clearly, because I think you got away scot-free last time this came up as a very troubling sign of you as a politician willing to stand behind on a podium where children's passports were getting locked up. That's not just an administrative error, is it, Karen? Or do you have no clue that if passports get locked up, that's not good? Or is that just another religious experience that kids were having for themselves, Karen? Because your office should really explain that. Really, really quickly. You should start explaining yourself why you're standing on a podium of a literal organization that has been locking passports of minors systemically, institutionally, at an industrial size scale. So if your office, Karen, can figure out real quick why that was done and why you're so okay with it or so clueless about it, maybe you can really change this little pitch about how, oh my God, they're really going to make a big difference, you guys. The Honorable Karen Bass, Speaker Emeritus, California State Assembly. Well, you definitely climbed all the way to the top, Mayor Bass, and you are literally pitching lies. You're literally trying to sanitize that. Oh no, I really want to help you guys. I really changed my mind, and there's been no action. It's only just blabbing.
It is my belief that if we really want to change this world, it is important that we think about how we treat each other. We have to treat all people with the respect they are due as human beings, and we must fight against oppression wherever we may find it.
Well, you know what? Let's fight you, because apparently you're the oppressor. Apparently you're the top of the food chain of this city, Mayor Bass, and you have a totally unhinged LAPD department that will literally, at the drop of a hat, drop everything to answer fake calls, drop everything to literally try to intimidate peaceful journalists that are, you know, doing their journalistic work, walking around the city and video recording what in the hell they are seeing. So why are y'all so pressed that y'all are getting audited? If y'all have nothing to hide, then why in the literal hell are y'all so pressed? Because we would know what y'all are so pressed, Karen. And if you have no shred of a clue, then that's on you. You didn't do a shred of due diligence when you really decided to stand in front of that podium fully endorsing what in the hell you are endorsing for yourself. Telling us about, yeah, we must fight oppression wherever we may find it. Well, we know we just found you and your little friends, the oppressive ones. And your police LAPD department, who doesn't have a shred of a clue how to enforce a law. Because, again, you guys, in what world is a police department not pressed that minors' passports are getting locked up and do nothing about it, never investigate it, never check into it, don't give it a shred of an F? For a minor, for a 15-year-old locked up inside of those hotels, the LAPD does not have time, care, or resources, or investigations, or nothing. Isn't that great, you guys? So all the kids that are there underage have no advocates, no help, no LAPD officer checking on them whatsoever, Karen. How in the literal world can that be? But quickly, make a quick fake AF, no grounds for anything, complete fair game playbook. As if this is literally not what a convicted, indicted felon told his proteges to do. It's all over the public record, Karen. So don't play dumb that, oh, I have no idea they do fair game. I really thought they were very, law-abiding citizens that really want to make a difference. By all means, pitch how that is making a difference, Karen Bass. Because literally, you couldn't just be more hypocritical and fake. This is all so aging horrendously for you. And you already sanitized your image and laundered this whole thing about how I really want to help. I really want to see what I can do. And you haven't done anything. In fact, you haven't reined in your LAPD. You haven't reined in nothing. You have done nothing. You couldn't be more ineffective as you sit there in that podium pitching stuff. What were you getting for showing up there, Karen? What in the literal hell were you getting? Because that would be great to really understand right about now.
That is why the words are exciting of your founder, L. Ron Hubbard, in the
Oh, wow, you guys. Oh, of your founder, L. Ron Hubbard. Founder, L. Ron Hubbard. What religion has founders, Karen? Ask your team to really pitch something that makes a shred of sense. What religion has founders? Was Jesus Christ the founder of a religion, or is he a god and that's why he's worshipped? Because that would be really great for us to understand that didn't go to school, Karen. That would be very great for us to understand that literally just finished 7th grade. Because we were being worked to death inside of the hotels that you can't stop pitching as so incredible, that has so many great ideas. And isn't it great that we're going to open a little church here for all of y'all to, you know, implicate minors, because who in the hell cares? Bring their passports, lock it up. The LAPD won't give a shred of an F. Oh, and if the minors want to marry with an adult, send them to Vegas quickly, out of the state, as if that's not a federal crime. As if that's not all over the public record already, Karen. So you start Googling for yourself. You start doing your own damn investigation. Stop being lazy. Literally. This is what it's called, you guys. Being lazy AF. And laundering your image and really purporting that you really changed just so you could get into an election and so you could steal more power and sit there doing nothing about anything.
creed of the Church of Scientology, that all people of whatever race, color, or creed.
There she goes, you guys. All people, really, the creed of Scientology, the one thing that a convicted, indicted felon really wrote for himself is what she's quoting, Karen Bass. Imagine that. Imagine that she really is pitching Scientology as a full-blown, everyone's welcomed and everyone could not be more equal with equal rights. So what were my rights when my passport was locked up, Karen? Explain that to me. What was my right that L. Ron Hubbard wrote for himself? Oh yeah, everyone really has equal rights, but lock up all the kids' passports. Because if you can make sense of that, then you literally would be a genius. But if you cannot make sense of that, then you choose the word you are. You choose it for yourself. I mean, literally zero due diligence, zero anything. She just sits there and spews and spouts whatever pitch comes to her head. Really endorsing these people, you guys. And yeah, Osa, it couldn't be more pathetic what you all are doing. But lucky for us, we have it all on video. Lucky for us, tons of people are watching and seeing all your little pathetic, disgusting, crooked AF, fair game tactics not really work.
Are created with equal rights. It's a remarkable credit to your church that this is part of your creed.
Oh, great. It's a remarkable credit that this is part of their creed, you guys. It's a remarkable credit. Meanwhile, what type of rights were being taken away, Karen, from all kids whose passports were locked up? Because that would be a great question for you to answer at your next council meeting. Wherever in the hell you take questions, we'll be asking you questions that you better start asking your team to really go and research, to really go inside those hotels and find out where everyone's passports are, find out how many minors are there, so-called volunteering with passports locked away. How many? Because in that recruitment center where we have spent our time video recording and seeing what in the hell, together with all the activists that are in there volunteering their time so they can inform the community, volunteering their time because they smell a rat. And apparently a rat that you all cannot smell. Apparently a rat that the LAPD cannot smell whatsoever. Imagine the LAPD, you guys, has so much access to these hotels. More than anyone else. More than anyone else, LAPD. So y'all have seen plenty of kids inside, literally. So in what world did you go into a hotel, see a bunch of minors in there, and then play dumb on your way out? Because we would love to hear that too from you, LA police chief that wants to retire pretty soon. It would be really great to know what you tell your officers to do so they can be willfully blind every time they open the door to one of those centers and see a bunch of minors in there, and then they just come out playing dumb because, oh, we didn't see anything. We couldn't have seen anything. This couldn't have been more of a religious experience everyone is having for themselves.
The Church of Scientology, I know, has made a difference because your creed is a universal creed and one that speaks to all people everywhere.
It's not speaking to anyone, Karen. It's not that creed that you're citing from a convicted, indicted felon. By all means, tell us why someone that's a convicted, indicted felon that pulled something out of his ass and wrote it on a piece of paper, you're lauding as greatly religious and amazing for yourself. Because you know what? That's called you didn't do your due diligence. You didn't Google who L. Ron Hubbard was. And you were pressed to go in there and sit in front of there and really blab and really pretend that you really want to help, and you're helping nobody but yourself.
I look forward to helping you bring about the difference for everyone in the city. This goal.
There you go. You were looking forward to helping them. Well, thank you, Karen. You have been helping them. That's why you're being called out, because you're helping. You shouldn't be helping, just for starters, people who make it a practice to lock up minors' passports. You shouldn't be helping people that make it a practice to dead bondage kids, invoicing them for courses in case they break their billion-year contract. Dead bondage and confiscation of passports should have, you would think, raised a literal red flag for your LAPD, whatever in the hell enforcement people. They enforce nothing. They're there to enforce nothing. Nothing.
State of California, and from here, the nation, and from the nation, the world. Thank you very much.
So there you go, guys. Look who she is with. Well, well, well. If it isn't Captain, let me put a little terry cloth bathrobe and beat up some adults and run around so that when I am being served on federal child trafficking lawsuits, no one can find me. So that's who you're next to, Karen. You're next to a literal person that is facing multiple lawsuits, including but not limited to federal child trafficking lawsuits. Because bingo, you guessed it, Karen. In case you haven't checked the lawsuit, the passports of the minors that were sent over to a ship were also locked up. That didn't happen in your state. Lucky for you. That got filed in Florida. But guess what? How many minors got signed up for the Sea Org, Karen Bass, to work inside of these hotels? Because that is exactly what your office should be finding out and really calling the Scientology people and asking them, because that's on you to explain. You are hosting these hotels. So you start speaking. You feel so comfortable really pitching them and sitting next to this man and being all about it. Because that's what in the hell it's called, you guys. She's being all about it. She's pitching it. But, you know, nothing like just laundering her little quick image. Oh, let me see what I can do to really help. I had no idea they were this bad. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the whole thing, you guys. But, you know, let's just really see our police officers here in action, courtesy of LA streets, who had to literally be woken up to be told what in the hell was going on.
Next thing you do is to put them through the experience of this, to scare off the next people from coming out here and doing this, but also to try to press charges. Then they get a restraining order, which would keep him away from all facilities. They see him as a real threat.
That's exactly right, guys. They did that already, we know, with Mark Bunker. All they want is to put restraining orders. All they do is play the victim ad nauseum. We're the victim. Everybody wants to hurt us. Well, you know what, Osa? If you thought people wanted to hurt you, good luck defending yourselves when everybody finds out all the minors that you are all about abusing inside of your disgusting hotels. Because you know what? The community is waking up and smelling the MF coffee. And you know who's really smelling the coffee? All the auditors that are auditing the streets, as they are allowed to audit. Y'all audit people inside of those hotels. Y'all don't let anyone see anything you're doing inside of those hotels. So why are y'all so pressed when other people audit you? If you had nothing to hide, you wouldn't be acting this pressed. If you were the great 501c that you really purport to be, you would not be making literal fake BOB, MB threats that you're pulling out of your ass, just like your founder pulled out of his ass every last shred of word he wrote on a piece of paper, and all his little sick proteges that cannot stand to not follow the words of a convicted, indicted felon. Why don't y'all start really looking at the RICO laws? Organized racketeering scheme. Start with the passport of all the minors that have been under lock and key and put away so that they are locked up. Start with that one thing. Just that alone.
He's here. He's in Hemet. He's in Hollywood Boulevard. Look at all these fucking cops.
8, you
There
guys.
better be some real reasonable suspicion to have him detained, or I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. If you don't have reasonable suspicion, he better not be in fucking handcuffs. Our resources being wasted. I want all your fucking cereals before you leave. Every last one of them. I'm gonna fucking ruin your life. Every one of your family members is gonna see you doing this shit on behalf of these fucking piece of crap Scientologists. They're gonna see that. All your families are gonna see that shit. They're gonna see you doing this shit. Make sure all your families see it. You're gonna own this shit.
That's right, LAPD. You are going to own this. You're going to own your relationship, your cozy, fraternizing relationship with these people. That couldn't be more unfounded. That couldn't be more disgusting. That couldn't be more indefensible if y'all tried. Y'all always come to the defense of the predator and never come to the defense of those being preyed on. Why? Why are we paying y'all's salary to enforce not a single shred of law in this city, LAPD? Why is that happening? As you're also busy, responding to this thing that you guys just saw, the 2 security guards of Scientology. This is all a coordinated effort, you guys. This is all extremely coordinated. And believe you me, Scientology thinks it won something. Imagine the stupidity of these people. It knows no bounds. Their stupidity knows Literally no bounds, you guys. Literally.
All these fucking resources being used. Fuck, you don't even look at me. All these resources being misused. Misused. These guys don't even pay taxes. We pay for your fucking salaries. They don't pay a penny. So your families are going to see you out here doing this at the behest of the Scientologists. These fucking phony calls. There's been like 14 of them in the last month. And of course, here comes another fucking patrol car. Let's get another one over here. And what the fuck is the reasonable suspicion? All this shit has been taped. Everything has been documented.
That's right, you guys. We've come with receipts. All the calls, all their fakeness, everything is on permanent lives in everyone's permanent channels, having been witnessed by literally hundreds and thousands and millions of people. LAPD, you couldn't be under a bigger scrutiny. There's a literal magnifying glass over y'all, and y'all are about to be burned because sunlight is going to be going through that magnifying glass. And guess what happens when sunlight hits the magnifying glass? Bingo. Y'all be all sapped like little ants. Corrupt ants, because it makes not a shred of sense. If y'all don't get paid by these people because they don't even pay taxes, what in the hell are y'all so pressed to answer every call with this sheer, ridiculous, theatrical amount of power? We've already told Scientology 1 billion trillion times. Nobody gives a shred of an F about hurting their buildings, about doing anything to their MF precious buildings. We are watching what they do, and we can. We're watching what they do from the outside, and we're video recording it. So we're still seeing that there's a lot of minors being recruited. We're talking to people in the street that are coming and telling us, oh yeah, when I was 16, they really wanted to recruit me and they wouldn't let me go. So in what world is that an exercise of a First Amendment right, LAPD? By all means, school us, since we didn't go to MF school, thanks to the people that you keep defending and coming to the rescue of. Thanks to them, we all have 7th grade education. Thanks to them and thanks to y'all who really do nothing to enforce a shred of law. Nothing. Your record speaks for itself, you guys. Go and check the public record of the LAPD holding anything related to Scientology accountable for anything. Or apparently they're just so perfect, they never commit a crime, and locking up passports of minors and sending child brides across state lines to Vegas to really marry off couldn't be a more of a religious, wonderful thing that they were having for themselves, right, LAPD? Because you have no bandwidth to do a shred of an investigation there. You have nothing there. There, it's like, oh, well, you know, never mind. Next time we'll do something. Next time, next year, when we stop getting paid to do all these other offside duties. That's what in the hell is called, LAPD. As if we don't know. As if we don't know how many fruit baskets y'all get. As if we don't know how many honey pots they send to y'all. And y'all couldn't have been so easily manipulated, gullible AF, to fall for these pathetic people that you really are defending and coming to the rescue. And really, let's defend because, you know, we are the LAPD.
claiming he made a bomb threat. This is like the 4th time in the last 3 days that they've made phony calls. And of course, right, you got to have more patrol cars. 132,000 per year, each one of these assholes. But you got to have 10 cops for a phony fucking bomb threat. Like I said, hey, new cops who just pulled up, I'm going to make sure your family sees you doing this on behalf of the Scientologists. I want to see how fucking proud they are of you. How proud they are of you defending and coming to the rescue and being weaponized by the Scientologists. That's you. What does your family think of it? What do your kids think of it? I hope when they go to school, they fucking see their fucking fathers and mothers pulling this bullshit.
Yeah. And shout out to the ones that have fathers and mothers. So you LAPD fathers and you LAPD mothers. Or what? When other kids are at risk, then you don't give a shred of an F? If it's not your own kids, then you don't give a shred of an F. If your buddies inside of those hotels are paying to get interrogated by a minor, y'all couldn't give any less shred of an F. Me, at 12 years old, I was interrogating these grown-ass motherfuckers. Why did that happen, LAPD? Why are they still doing it with other kids? Why are they grooming kids with dolls to go interrogate adults in those audits? So y'all are, very pressed to really, what is it? Let's really protect this hardcore scene hotel, bringing minors from all over the world to enslave them, to lock up their passports, to abuse them, to tokenize them, to dehumanize them. And that is what y'all are really there protecting. Just a little FYI of what in the hell is coming to y'all, because it's now y'all's fault and y'all are going to have to defend what you're defending. That's what this is called. It's called now you defend what in the hell you're defending. And don't come at us that you don't have a shred of a clue, because we are schooling you. First-hand witnesses that we are. Since we did train to do those audits, and we can tell you we weren't doing anything religious when these executives were having us audit kids, audit adults. But yeah, sure. Y'all really defend the predators, defend them. And guys, we just went to protest with Eat Predators in Beverly Hills. And what a difference the Beverly Hills Police Department is, you guys. What a big, 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 big difference. Because yes, the Beverly Hills Department pulled up, asked us what's up. We're totally chill. We told them what happened. They said, cool. And that was it. No arrests were made in Beverly Hills, LAPD. And you know what? We were being much louder. Imagine, we had a megaphone in Beverly Hills. We were screaming that disgusting, corrupt attorneys were releasing literal CA of a predator because they bamboozled the minor that married the 17-year-old man that was much older. Because yes, Hollywood couldn't be more disgusting, you guys. As if Hollywood and Scientology aren't married. But we can tell you, being so much more louder, being so much more aggressive, and being allowed, because that is what in the hell we have the right to do. Right, LAPD, or wrong? Because y'all are continuing to show that you are not wanting us to have our right. You want your little friends to have their little hotels and then nobody come and see anything because why? Why can we see? Because we already know what's behind closed doors. Because the minute y'all are really exposed, y'all will have no defense. Like the idiots that you are all in on defending this fraternity, this gang of racketeers. Go Google it for yourself. They're working in a conspiracy, you idiots. What in the hell do you think it's called when all executives are locking up the passports of the kids? When all executives are finding out exactly when a felony is committed inside of those hotels and y'all never get called like the idiots that you are. Do you think Scientology calls you for those? Do you think Scientology calls you for those? Because if you do, if you want to play dumb, go check real quick the Denny Masterson case. Just go type it in. No, it turns out Scientology thinks all of y'all are idiots and pathetic and useless. Only when you're defending them do they give a shred of an F about y'all. Only then. So why is Scientology reporting 0 felonies when they are all implicated, when they're all full knowing, where they're all data mining every last shred of information? The investigations that we were carrying out, LAPD, as a literal 12-year-old, run circles around the pathetic investigations that y'all are all about doing. Literally. As 12-year-olds, a lot more was expected of us inside of those hotels. And y'all just got called out for making 6-figure salaries for what we were doing better as 12-year-old kids stuck at the hotel with our passports locked up. Imagine that. So just so you really start understanding just how truly pathetic you really are. Because literal 12 years old inside of those hotels investigate better than all of you put together.
You're going to own it. These fucking freeloaders right here who don't pay any taxes have 6, 7, 8 cops out here for phony bullshit.
8 cops, you
These
guys.
freeloaders, another reason to take away their tax exempt status. Weaponizing the police force. They get half of our discretionary budget. And you wasting our fucking resources. Get him out of fucking cuffs. You're going to do a PPA based on what? If you do a PPA, we pull up the video showing that no bomb threat is made. You better start putting them in handcuffs. Put them in handcuffs for these fucking fake charges, these fake accusations, these fake crime reports. Enough of this.
And again, you guys, in what world is Scientology making fake reports as they're already on the record saying never call the police for anything? The police couldn't be more useless. The police couldn't be more pathetic. The police couldn't be more irrelevant. The courts couldn't be more irrelevant. The law couldn't be more irrelevant. These were lawless AF hotels. Lawless AF. They ask their paid members, their adult paid members, have you committed any felony for which you have not been arrested? How many of those members have y'all received? Oh, look, this one just admitted that here's all the tapes, here's all the transcripts, here's everything we have on them. Here, LAPD, here. Because that's what's inside the hotel. Admissions to Class A felonies, including but not limited to transcribed. So every single last executive knows. Every one of those security guards knows, gets infoed, gets CC'd. Oh, look what just came up on this public situation. Oh, look what just came up over here. An L2D, a rape, a blowjob, whatever. This one happened in this bathroom. This one happened in this floor. This one happened this many times. This was happening this many instances. This is how many kids are implicated. This is how many adults did it. They all have the information, LAPD. Why is that information not being shared with you when actual felonies get found out? Why are y'all never showing up there with 8 cop cars when a literal felon just admitted a felony done to a child? Where's that energy? Nowhere to be found. Because your pathetic friends that use you and literally abuse you, they could give a shit about you. They're just using you for their benefit. But you pathetic idiots that don't know what in the hell they're doing behind closed doors are really wanting to go, oh yeah, the First Amendment, you guys, we really want to protect these people because, you know, they can go get their freak on with a child and pay to get that freak on. Pay. Write it off of their taxes. So by all means, explain to us why we were asking for felonies at 12 years old, LAPD. We had no shred of a certificate to do it. We hadn't even finished high school, for crying out loud. But there we were, really drill it on adults, Serge. Ask the doll, have you committed a felony? Have you ever done a felony that you didn't get arrested for? What in the literal hell were we doing that for, LAPD? That is what your little buddies do to children behind closed doors. But sure, go and arrest this kid that is full-time on his phone so that y'all can watch what in the hell he's doing. Do you know what your buddies are doing in there? Because they're also in the practice of video recording everything, LAPD, making y'all's case very easy. Simplicity. Simplicity is what it would be. Oh, because look, here's the video, here's the transcript, here's all the pages, here's all the contemporaneous notes, here's everyone that's implicated, here's everyone that signed, that they read it, that they know about it, that they're complicit, that they're laundering, that they're sending the person to, you know, buy more intensives, pay for more money. So why do they need you? If they can do their own lawlessness inside of these hotels, why does Scientology need a police department that they just call to make fake complaints? Because that's exactly what in the hell we need to understand now. Why are felonies not called on for you? But what is this being done? To do nothing, to just literally waste money and time and resources and everything.
Sick of this shit. Wasting everybody's time with this shit. Get them out of handcuffs. See these desperate Scientologists. They cannot have protesters. They can't have anybody seeing into their secret society. The minute you start snooping around, they have you arrested for fake charges. They called in a fake bomb threat the other day. They called in a threat last night saying they were going to burn down their building. All they do is lie. They weaponize the police force, and these fucking cops go for it every time. Your families need to fucking see what you're doing on your shift, defending this fucking Scientologist. Every one of you cops should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Every one of you. Unless you are Scientologists yourself. You probably are. I know you got plenty of Scientologists up in the Northeast Division. So you got these Scientologist cops right here. Take a good look at them. If you know them, call them out.
Scientology cops, you guys. Scientology
Fell off
cops.
his phone. Because you needed 5, 6, 7 cops for one person at the behest of the Scientologists. Hugo Soto Martinez, council member, What do you think about this misuse of the police resources? You voted for the LAPD budget. You voted for this. You voted for this. You voted for this. Nithya Raman, you voted for this. Every member of the city council voted for this. Karen Bass, you rubber stamped it. This cult, this human trafficking organization traffics kids, and these cops right here are out here doing their dirty work. Be ashamed, every last one of you.
See, you guys traffic kids, as he's saying. So it would be great for the Scientology parents to start uniting on this voice and tell the LAPD that yes, they were trafficking kids, that yes, the kids weren't having religious experiences for themselves. Because in what world is William, the father that never exposed his own children to this disgusting thing, the only one that's showing up in the middle of the literal night to be called to do this stupid ride to watch this disgusting abuse taking place again right in front of us, as if they don't mean it, you guys. They mean it. These are intimidation tactics. This is the BS OSA department of the pathetic proteges that Mike Rinder left behind. That they still could not be more clueless. They could still not be more idiotic, making the worst calls ever.
If you know these people, when you see them on the street, when they're off shift, you tell them that they're shameful for the shit that they're doing for the Scientologists. If you know their families, you tell them that you are ashamed of them. And like I said, your kids got to go to school and have to hear it from their friends. Why does your dad and why does your mom come to the defense of the Scientologists with their phony fucking calls?
With their phony calls and their locking up of the passports of all the minors and their little auditing sessions where they really want to find out. Why are adults wanting to find out how kids masturbate? Because you, LAPD, need to answer that to us. And don't tell us it was a religious experience that we were having for ourselves, as these people took it upon themselves to be asking that ad nauseum out of us. So before you really go, oh, well, you know what? We can't even have a single straight thought about that. Well, then think about your own kids. Think about your own kids. And if you are okay with other kids being locked up against their will inside these audits, where they cannot leave, they cannot say no, they cannot, whatever, then subject your own kids to those audits. I dare you, all mothers at the LAPD, to do that to your own kid. I dare you to do it. I dare you to expose your own child to it. If it's just a religious thing and they can just really try, be advised. The role plays will contain no boundaries. The role plays will be video recorded. Executives will be watching, including but not limited to getting off on them. As if the case supervisors, you guys, didn't literally get off all the time, that they were masturbating, thinking of and watching videos that they were recording of all of these disgusting things that we're really pressed to find out about. Of all the teenagers, all teenagers were fair game inside of those hotels. All teenagers are fair game as we speak. All of them. They're all being told they're adults. They're all being told they're all on the same terms. Everyone's on the same terms inside of those hotels. So you, LAPD, and you, Karen Bass, make that make sense. Since you really pitched the creed, and isn't it great that we have a creed? Well, the creed didn't help us at all to not be disgustingly abused by the stuff that y'all keep pitching as couldn't be more religious. Well, it shouldn't take a genius to know that locking kids up against their will, according to the auditor's code, Karen Bass, in case you are just so lack of due diligence all the way, Let's like speed up your process so you really can take the questions that you're going to be asked. Since we are informing the community what in the hell is going on inside of those hotels. Since we are telling people, sounding the alarm, code MF red. But sure, let's really continue defending the people that are literal self-entitled predators, all influenced by a convicted, indicted felon that all of y'all are playing dumb for your own damn reasons, God knows why, to purport that L. Ron Hubbard, the convicted, indicted felon that he was, really should be treated as a god, and we shouldn't really question anything. Because, you know, if L. Ron Hubbard said lock kids up against their will and lock up their passports, then, you know, their rights are shredded because, you know, L. Ron Hubbard did say that. So which one is it? Do we have laws in this city, or is this just a city that is completely fine hosting systemic, institutionalized child trafficking per what your literal own laws state, Karen Bass? So ask your team to really Google the laws for you. And then ask your team to go and talk to the LAPD, Human Trafficking Division, head of the Human Trafficking Division, who could not be any more implicated and compromised with Marisol Nichols, Scientologist Marisol Nichols, really doing podcasts and talking about all manner of ways of how really we should prevent trafficking from happening with a full, straight face. That conversation is being had, Karen Bass, with a full-blown straight face, as Marisol Nichols sits there and blinky, blinky, blinky to the head of the Human Trafficking Division, who doesn't give an F if the kids inside the Marisol Nichols hotels got their passports locked up. The man who has kids of his own, but, you know, why not expose a child to a place where they could never consent? Because that's really, really, you know, makes sense. Do whatever the hell you want, lock up the kid, abuse him, use him, you know, pawn him off to someone else. Who else wants to audit this kid? Okay, you completed a course, great. You just interrogate that kid. Go at it. No shred of guardrails are allowed. Only what L. Ron Hubbard wrote in his disgusting rhetoric. So if you don't know the rhetoric and you really want to put a separation of church and state, then you are the traffickers. You, yourselves, you, the cops that stand behind these hotels. I mean, if this was a Ritz-Carlton, you guys, and it was filled with adults, but it was also filled with kids, and the cops, what, protected anybody that came up with a camera close to it? Because what are y'all so pressed about? What type of benefits is the LAPD really getting out of these hotels? Because right about now, nothing is making sense. LAPD, nothing.
Shame on all of you. This is what $132,000 per year looks like. That's what the average LAPD cop makes after overtime. These guys might even be getting overtime right now, for all you know. These freeloaders right here. Doesn't take much to be an LAPD cop. It's the only job in America where, you know, I have no problem with somebody having a GED, but you can start off and make over $100,000 your first year with a GED. It's the only job in America. And you come out here and you sit there and defend the Scientologists because they're going to give money to your union. You disgusting ass people.
Money to their union. So that's what they're after, you guys. Good to know. Money to the LAPD union from a 501c that won't pay that in taxes. Won't pay that in taxes that they make on the back of kids, LAPD, because also answer this question, you too, Karen Bass, why were us as kids making, including but not limited to, up to $100,000 for these people per week? That was on our back. Why in the hell were we being given quotas as a 15-year-old? This week, you need to make $100,000 for us of value of services delivered. What type of volunteer brings in $100K? a week to a 501c. By all means, Karen Bass, give us the example, because we have only a 7th grade education and we were also locked up in those hotels and we have no experience outside of those hotels that we have ever seen that happen. So by all means, make it make sense. How many kids are implicated? Do you not have a shred of a clue? Because right about now, you should be finding out how many minors are implicated in this wide-ranging racketeering scheme that you and the LAPD could not be more pressed to be defending and to be really standing behind and to really be honoring them selling kids, underage kids, to patrons that really want to pay $500 an hour to have a kid for themselves. Make that make sense, Karen Bass. Make that make sense, Scientology executives. Start defending your BS, religious, whatever in the hell depravities that you are all about.
These freeloaders, these welfare queens over here, the Scientologists who pay no taxes. They pay for none of this.
They pay no taxes and they exploit children. I mean, imagine that, you guys. The audacity of these people to not want to pay taxes, to literally enslave underage kids that don't know what in the hell is being proposed to them, but they do get them signed on billion-year contracts, and then they get them dead bondaged, and then they expose them to things that are indefensible to the outside world. That's why you're seeing the Scientologists being so pressed that these kids are walking around with a camera. There's nothing more these people hate than scrutiny. If you're not groomed in the L. Ron Hubbard ways, they purport that it's you that has the problem. It's you who is stupid. It's you who doesn't get it. But who has the problem? Who has the literal problem? These leeches, these child leeches, they're leeching onto kids so they can go and live their pathetic infantile delusion, pitched by their daddy figure, L. Ron Hubbard. It's also indefensible and disgusting, and there couldn't be more women and men paying for these services, you guys. Paying for the services. That's what in the hell they told us to do. Go service that public. Just so you know, LAPD. Do pimps talk like that? Go service that public. Go service that patron. Go service that person that just paid us. Go service them. Go service them. Give them your service. Are they happy with the way you service them? Oh, they want to complain about the way you service them. Okay, then let's have them complain about the way you service them, and then we'll deal with you in ethics. That is what the kids are being told inside of those hotels, LAPD. Make it make sense why children are being told to go service adults.
But you guys are their personal security. You do what they say, like the little bitches that you are. You do what the Scientologists say. Like I said, I hope your fucking family is proud of it. I hope when your kids see this, they're proud of it. Yep, let's bring another patrol car. Why not? Bring some more patrol cars. Why not? You see where your resources, again, they get half of our discretionary budget. Half of our budget goes to these welfare queens to protect these welfare queens. You got these guys. Come on, have more pull up. How many more do you need? For one guy based on a phony report. Why don't you fucking call out SWAT? Call out the SIS while you're at it. Fuck it. Have the SIS come out here. Bring out a Bearcat. Get a helicopter out here. Fuck it. You guys have a fixed wing airplane. Bring that out too. Keep on coming. Keep them coming. Come on, bring the whole division out here. Bring the whole entire Northeast division out here while you're at it. To defend the Scientologists. See the resources that are being used to protect and defend these welfare queens who pay no taxes. It's outrageous. And take a look at their face too. You guys now own this. You guys own the Scientologists. I'm looking forward to your families seeing you on video defending the Scientologists. Your family, your friends, you own them.
Yeah, and just wait until it actually gets exposed, you guys. Again, as the awareness is raised of what an indicted convicted felon wrote for himself, as all of you mothers out there have sat here and listened outraged out of your literal minds, as we explain to you what our own mothers and fathers paid to be done to us, paid to be exposed to, endorsed, consented for us, put us in harm's way, nowhere to be found in the aftermath of it all to condemn themselves. Now they just want to play the victim card. I was abused. I was a victim. I had no shred of a clue what in the hell I was doing, even though I was a full-grown adult. And guess who's scared more than any single one group of individuals in the entire history of my life about what in the hell is being done to kids? You guessed it, these kids. Streets and these kids that are seeing other kids getting implicated, they know what is up. They know. They've seen it. They have it on tape. They're watching it. They are literally digesting how thick and disgusting these hotels are. So why are they digesting it in the LAPD that's had a ton of access? They do get inside. They do come inside. They do check things inside the hotel. Way deeper. Way deeper than any of these kids that are on public streets only. And you better believe we don't even touch the marble that delineates where in the hell their stupid ass door is, you guys, so that they don't act press. But even then, oh yeah, we really want to use a bomb and explode. The last person, these people accused of using a bomb, you guys, was a child that grew up in Scientology, that had a horrific, disgusting accident that Scientology threw him in the streets, just disposed of him like that, like if he was trash. So everything Scientology talks about that is completely always overinflated and nothing to do with anything. And when they've had problems of this nature, they have done the most disgusting, unhuman, indefensible things in the world. And no one has given a literal shred of an F. It's always when Scientology does it, it's not
Yeah,
a crime.
jerky neck sergeant over there. You own them. You guys all own the Scientologists. I look forward to having your faces and your profiles with your names and serial numbers all online attached to this false arrest. Because you have to have 8, 10 cops falsely arrest a guy on behalf of the Scientologists. You guys own it. And before you leave, I want everybody's serial numbers here. Don't even think about leaving without providing your serial numbers. Like I said, you're going to have a profile with your shit all over it. Any money into the system. We pay for this. So she's on the phone over there calling her fucking watch commander, finding out what they should fucking do while you got 8, 10 cops in around just twiddling their fucking thumbs.
I mean, right there, you guys. Right
And
there.
then there'll be some real shit going on around here.
Can you imagine these cops that have never responded or given an F about all the abuses that we have discussed? They don't give an F about that. They literally could not give less of an F. And it's by their actions that are on the public record, LAPD. Again, you are being used like idiots. Scientology goes and launders money. They make the money out of laundering a felony, including from self-admitted child abusers. So they're taking your business. Y'all's business is taken by them. Then they make money, and then they pathetically give you a few dollars here and a few dollars there. And apparently that's all it takes for y'all to drop everything and not do y'all's job, because apparently the 6 figures you're getting from the LAPD is not enough. You need some blood money in your accounts. You need some blood money based off of child slave labor. What in the hell you're doing cashing checks from these disgusting people? So by all means, make it make sense, LAPD.
Real
Make it
crimes
make
getting
sense.
called in. They're not getting a fucking radio dispatch because you know what? We got to sit there and use our resources to defend a Scientologist.
So they do eventually let him go, you guys.
I don't care. I'm asking him anyway.
And then
You have to identify. What's your serial number?
It's on the business card.
What's your serial number?
So, and there they go, getting their serial numbers, and he does get released. Because, duh. Literally, because, duh. All of these tactics are so short-sighted. All of these tactics are so hyperbolic, overinflated AF. But apparently, it doesn't matter. The LAPD doesn't care. They will come to the defense of these people any time of the year. When we went protesting at the Celebrity Center, they did the same thing, you guys. They had 8 cop cars come in. You know, they arrested our security. The one guy that we had to defend us, he got arrested. He was taken by the LAPD. So yeah, LAPD, Scientology is not our only bully. Y'all have been too. Y'all are doing their bidding like complete idiots that you are, since you don't know what you're defending. You have no idea what you're defending. You couldn't be more glib. You couldn't be more stupid. You couldn't be more idiotic. But you know what? Lucky for y'all, you are going to find out. Lucky for y'all, the facts will get exposed. And once the facts get exposed, once all of Los Angeles, once all of America really finds out what in the hell is done to kids, systemically institutionalized abuse at an unthinkable scale, not even industrial size scale, unthinkable scale of minors implicated. So good luck defending yourselves, because the only plea you're going to be able to plead at the end of this is insanity, complete and utter insanity and stupidity. That's the only thing that's going to make sense when you really find out how egregious and disgusting these role plays you're all about letting these people have whatever they want are. Scientology's web of deception, coupled by the LAPD's blind compliance, a chilling reality emerges. The notorious fair game policy is not just a relic of Scientology's dark past. It is a weapon wielded with impunity, enabled by the LAPD, and aimed squarely at those who dare to criticize and those who dare to have a phone on a public street recording what in the hell they see. This unholy alliance between a corrupt sham 501c organization and a supposed law enforcement agency which is totally in the business of allowing Scientology to perpetrate its vindictive tactics against critics without a literal shred of consequence. As if that's not all over the public record, as if Colette Pooper didn't already happen, and these people were all about planting bombs, fake bombs on her and trying to make her frame her. But you, sure, LAPD, go and defend them. I'm sure that's going to really work out for you people. Fabricated arrests as a distraction. The LAPD's orchestration of this latest fake arrest, such as the recent detainment of Chris without a help app, serves as a dual purpose. It distracts the public from Scientology's heinous crimes against children, LAPD, while also attempting to send a chilling message to those who speak out against the organization. Yet the message is not landing anywhere tonight because y'all can't scare us. As we know, it's y'all that are hiding illicit, indefensible criminal activity, including but not limited to locking up passports of minors, locking up minors inside hotels against their will, even when they don't want to be there. It doesn't matter. The fair game policy is Scientology's self-proclaimed license to intimidate, harass, and destroy the lives of its critics. This utter sham cannot stand up to a shred of scrutiny because of what is hiding behind closed doors. Scientology's playbook extends beyond more than intimidation. It thrives on a culture of fear, using the fair game policy to unleash a barrage of harassment, smear campaigns, and invasive investigations on anyone questioning the organization. Because just questioning is enough, you guys, to really set these people off. Imagine the type of con you have to be running to get really pressed anytime anybody raises a shred of concern about anything. The LAPD's complicity in this campaign of terror raises profound questions, at minimum, about its commitment to justice and public safety. Because there is no justice for any kids being abused currently. There is no justice for any kids that have been abused in the past. And there is no safety for any of them. So congratulations, PD. You're not living up to nothing. You're living up to being a bunch of grifters. Mayor Karen Bass, tacit approval of Scientology, evident through her silence and lack of action, implicates her in the organization's vindictive practices. By turning a blind eye to the abuse of power, Mayor Bass becomes an accomplice in the systemic targeting of critics, allowing Scientology's corrosive influence to seep into the very fabric of the city's governance. The citizens of Los Angeles are not oblivious to the LAPD's complicity in the Scientology abuse. The deployment of the fair game policy on critics is a blatant violation of civil liberties, an affront to free speech, and a mockery of justice. The demand for accountability extends beyond Mayor Karen Bass. It reverberates through the corridors of power, calling for an end to the LAPD's collusion with an organization that operates outside the bounds of morality and who systemically and institutionally targets underage kids to run its criminal racketeering child trafficking scheme. For every instance where Scientology deploys its fair game policy under the LAPD's watchful eye, the advocates against abuse will triple down on their calls for justice. The LAPD's acquiescence to Scientology's vindictive measures is not just an institutional failure. It's a betrayal of the public trust. The citizens of Los Angeles deserve better. A police force that upholds justice, protects its residents, and refuses to be an accomplice in the systemic victimization of minors orchestrated by Scientology. In the heart of Los Angeles, where corruption and collusion threaten the very essence of justice. It is time to expose the LAPD's complicity in Scientology's fair game policy. The city must shed its complicit silence and stand united against the unholy alliance that perpetrates injustice and enables the relentless prosecution of those who speak truth to power. Scientology does not want to lose the ability to enslave children, and it's really showing in their latest pathetic attempts at making themselves the victims, which is the only thing they have ever been good for. So that is what's on the table. Scientology only plays victim. They're always the victim. They're always, oh, look what's being done to us, you guys. Oh, aren't we such a minority? Aren't we so misunderstood? What lucky for y'all, no one that's in this chat watching this for themselves is misunderstanding a shred of a thing. It couldn't be more obvious. It couldn't be more common sense. It couldn't be what in the literal hell is written by the laws already. Except no one is around to enforce them. And you know who pays the price, LAPD? Beyond anyone else, as we would know, the children stuck at the hotels, being trafficked, being used as pawns to be the auditors of adults that are disgusting, paying money to really get locked up in one of those hotels with a child of their choice. So make that make sense, Karen Bass, very, very quick. Reconcile that with that creed that you really took it upon yourself to pitch. And then call your little LAPD unhinged department and start investigating what in the literal hell is going on, because we haven't even begun to get started with any of y'all. Literally. We're just at one testing center right now. One. But the LAPD is complicit on all of this fair gaming, and they couldn't be more happy to show up. Well, good luck explaining yourselves, and good luck defending yourselves, and good luck with coming up with excuses why minors get abused inside of the commercial buildings and hotels that y'all are so pressed to literally defend tooth and nail. Our question to y'all is why? Why are you so pressed to defend people that would prey on kids? Why, LAPD? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's your challenge. Make the most abominable, disgusting crimes committed among the most vulnerable of the population as if children are not the most. And y'all are really protecting and serving who? Exactly. Who? Their predator? Well, then congratulations. You've done a great job really enabling predators, LAPD. So let that record stain with coagulated blood of all the kids that's in y'all's hands, in y'all's conscience, because none of y'all have given a shred of an F. That trafficking has just been running rampant in those hotels that y'all frequent so often, that y'all have full eyesights over, that y'all get all manner of tours and all manner of hookups. As if we don't know. So, yes, this is a full-blown stain on your supposed credibility. Your credibility stock is crashing AF. And tonight, y'all wrecked it. By your actions. By your willful complicity to do what's wrong instead of what in the hell we're paying you to do, which is enforce the law, protect the kids, the most vulnerable that really need the help. Do something about it now. The LAPD is the who and the why of these hotels doing what in the hell they're doing. So if y'all didn't get CC'd about what they're really doing inside of those hotels, then shame on y'all being such great besties with these disgusting L. Ron Hubbard protege degenerates that y'all really want to claim that there couldn't be more religious. Well, have them start explaining themselves already. Already start doing that. Because nothing changes if nothing changes. And so far, nothing has changed whatsoever, other than receipts surfacing, other than lives that are recording what in the hell is going on in those centers. So everything is getting exposed and everyone is knowing what in the hell is happening. So every move you make, LAPD, careful. Because y'all's reputation is in total tatters and shambles as the enablers of predators who prey on kids. The biggest, most hugest chain of hotels being allowed to abuse kids in the literal history of the world. Even Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein didn't even come close to the size of the type of trafficking of minors that has gone on in these hotels. So ask your buddies, since you have a lot of people there. Did they take taxes out of the pay for minors? Yes, they took taxes out of everything, you guys. We never got, you're supposed to get $50, but they always took like, you always end up getting like 48 or 46. You were not even legal to work on that age. Where did those taxes go? I mean, I have no idea, Sandy. At the time, we had no idea. I was like, I mean, again, you guys, we were like kids. Like, I was like $50 and the taxes. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I thought taxes were bullshit. I mean, that's what they told us at the hotel. All taxes are bullshit, you guys. You don't need to pay taxes. Like, the government is really out to get us and they don't want us to expand, and they always demonize the police to us, you guys. We were never supposed to, the only people that were friends with the police were the security guards, going back to the slave masters of this hotel chain. So those two men that you saw right there really calling the police, those are the slave masters. Those are the ones that are full knowing what's going on everywhere. P.S. Chris without Hellcat is around 16. Threat was called by COS. Scientology audit went live screaming for him and what happened. Watch that one also. Thank you, Don. I didn't even know that Chris without a Hellcat was 16 years old, you guys. I didn't even know. I mean, they are so intelligent. They ask the best questions. They're literally the best. They're literally the best. Scientology is petrified of this generation that doesn't give an F about their BS. And, the fact that they're targeting a 16-year-old, well, that is just even more making me more irate, as if that's even possible at this point, you guys. I could not be more livid. Could not be more livid about this, because this has been our plight all the time. Unlucky for us, we never saw the police around. And like I told you, these executives really sold their bullshit fear tactics and games. Don't go to the police. Don't do anything that's law related, because you wouldn't want to sue us, because you wouldn't want to stop the technology of L. Ron Hubbard. Well, we need to stop the technology of L. Ron Hubbard, because the technology of L. Ron Hubbard is leading you all to commit felonies in broad daylight with full impunity, and you don't want anyone to stop you from doing that. Well, tough MF shit. We don't give an F what you want. We don't give an F what you like. We only give an F that there are laws being broken, because none of us as kids could consent to whatever in the hell they did to us inside of those hotels. and the felonies of having taken our passports and locked them up for the entirety of our stay inside of the hotel speaks for itself, LAPD. So now add that to your investigation. Add that to the context of this. And Mayor Karen Bass, prepare for your questions, because you've already spent a lot of time telling people that you couldn't be implicated with Scientology. Well, you know what? We're calling utter BS. Your actions speak much louder than your words, Karen. Much, much louder. We can literally see your actions clearly. And we can literally see a police department that must not respect you a shred, because if you really are trying to do something, then they wouldn't be putting you in this compromising AF position. But you all wanted to own this? Well, good. Now own it. Own it. This is your problem. This is you who's going to have to defend those hotels. So good luck. Good literal luck to y'all defending the most disgusting, abominable people, which are child abusers, in case the LAPD and Karen Bass has no shred of a clue who are the most disgusting, vile people. People that entitle themselves to treat children as if they were adults. That's who's disgusting. That's who's unhinged. That's who has zero moral compass. As much as they purport to have a religion, the convicted indicted felon told them, adulticize all kids, make them all fair game inside of the hotel. So you, Karen Bass, and your team can really start typing statements for yourselves to make that make sense. Why are kids being tortured inside of those hotels? Why are kids being implicated in being falsely deposed without a shred of lawyer, being asked to incriminate themselves, and then being told that they are having a very religious experience for themselves? Why is that taking place in the middle of Los Angeles, with all of you being 1000% all behind it and literally endorsing it? So, I mean, literally, you guys, we have a lot of work ahead of us, but you know what? It is all unfolding right before our eyes. And you, OSA, and you, LAPD, and you, Karen Bass, and you all that are trying to shut us up, it couldn't be working any less. The more y'all try to shut us up, the more it invigorates us to continue exposing your sham and your disgusting collusion and your sick game that you're all in on. So good luck recovering from this disgusting scheme that you're all about defending. Good luck to y'all. So thank you all for listening to us. We have to stand up to this injustice. We have to react to it in real time, because it's unthinkable. It's literally unthinkable. When I started seeing that, I was like, this has to be a joke. This has to be a total joke. I was just with them like 15 minutes ago. I think I just left like 15, 20 minutes ago. And they went to that other location to check it out. And they are allowed to check it out. So get used to it, OSA. You're going to be audited everywhere. More and more people are going to continue to join these audits. And please, you guys, by all means, start joining the audits. These people cannot withstand being audited because they themselves know how disgustingly dirty they are. And we couldn't be literally restimulating all the felonies they don't want the LAPD to find out about, because their little fraternity bromance that they've been in would really fall apart when the LAPD finds out that these pathetic clowns have literally placed them and literally pissed on their face. Well, they think that they're the little friendsy-wensies. Oh yeah, these ones are our friends. They really want to help us in the community. Really, LAPD? Because I think they just pissed all over your face and you don't even know. And that's pathetic. So I thank you guys so much for listening and supporting these kids. If you're not subscribed to Chris Without a Hellcat, by all means, go and subscribe. And we're going to continue asking a lot of questions. So you better get all used to it, OSA and LAPD and Karen Bass. Because we're coming for y'all. And every single one of the people that are here in the chat will be also scrutinizing the living F out of y'all. So make sure you don't continue to make missteps. Make sure you don't continue to F things up. Make sure you don't continue to run any BS fair game on anyone else. And rein in those unhinged security guards that work for Scientology. Rein those in. They are slave masters, Karen. So you that really wants to say that everybody has the same rights, answer why the security guards of the place that you say everybody wants to have the same rights are acting like slave masters, slave owners. Because that would be a very good question for you to answer yourself. Since we lived in modern day slavery with our passports locked up, we know what it means to be a slave in America, firsthand, brought from another country. So make it make sense really quick, Karen Bass. Because you are at the top of this pyramid scheme of corruption. This is your department. This is your city. This is you who wanted to really come in to really help Los Angeles. Well, you know what? Start helping and start doing something. And let's really see the physical evidence in the physical universe, not in your blabbing. We're just done with the blab, blah, blah. Okay, you guys? So have a good night, and I will see you all early tomorrow. We got a lot more to discuss and a lot more receipts to show. Receipts that are actually going to come in very, very handy tomorrow, come to think about it. Receipts that now we're going to start, directing to the LAPD. Because you know what? We're going to start changing the content to the LAPD. We're literally going to start making specific content just for you, LAPD. We weren't doing that. We weren't inspired to do that before, but you know what? You just changed our mind. You literally just changed our entire mind about what in the hell needs to be exposed and who needs to start answering our questions. It's y'all who are going to have to start answering a ton of questions and start, really going through the receipts that we're going to bring to really explain what in the hell you are defending. So I thank you all for watching and staying with us and staying vigilant with this community. It's the fact that we have all these eyeballs on us that is giving us the security we all need, because as survivors, we do stand united and we're not going to be divided. So there you go, LAPD. We couldn't be more powerful. We're not fawns anymore. We're not fawning. Your little scare tactics could not be more ridiculous. They only worked when we were children and when we were traumatized AF. But lucky for us, we're not traumatized. We're not children, and we don't give a shred of an F, and we couldn't be less scared about your pathetic BS missteps. It's you who should be scared of how many missteps you're making. It's you, OSA, who needs to be scared because your time is coming. And start Googling racketeering laws for yourselves. Start Googling that quickly, since locking up passports of minors falls under that category. So continue committing crimes, and then you will all be paying the price very, very soon, because no one in this city wants you. Nobody. Except for your disgusting patrons that really do love getting serviced by minors inside of these hotels. So if minors can help whoever adult wants to go get service inside of a hotel, what in the hell is that called, Karen Bass? You were next to that disgusting man who is now nowhere to be found to be served on child trafficking charges. And I suggest that you really take it upon yourself, LAPD and Karen Bass, to read that lawsuit. And you know what, you guys? That's in fact literally what we're going to do for them. We're going to expose everything that's on the lawsuit, specifically alleged. So then the same carbon copy of whatever in the hell was happening in Florida, you best believe what's happening in Los Angeles. These people are so robotic idiots that don't have a shred of critical thinking skills for themselves or can think for themselves. They're just like complete sheeple to the bidding of a convicted, indicted felon. So let that fully sink in, simmer and sizzle. And I will see you guys all extremely soon. Bye.